Welcome, Redbeard here, and it is time for my first ever series on this channel. Road to rank 1 corrupted Gauntlet as a hardcore Ironman. The only rule is simple: I cannot use tier 3 armor inside the Gauntlet, from Lumbridge to the walls of Prifdinnas. Let's begin. Welcome to episode 4 of this epic series, starting with an upgrade. Not a major one, but the climbing boost has some strength bonus to it, and it's dirt cheap. If you are new, first episode below. Also, in the near future, I will start streaming. Upgraded some of the assets from before, you know. It had placeholders and all that. Follow me to get notified when I'm live, and next week I will set up a schedule. And now, I am doing any quest that unlocks areas and leveling as many skills as possible, and staying alive. Gathering as many upgrades along the way, and as of right now, I'm severely undergeared in magic. All I need is 66 for mystic gear, so I can buy them. This part is where the guy gets captured one day into his service. When doing this part of Troll Stronghold, unlock both prisoners for later in Edgar's Ruse quest. You will skip the first part, so it's a time saver. And the reward is a low talisman. It has nothing to do with the quest, but maybe for us Ironmen can be helpful to craft lore runes. I have to look into it. Here is the important part where I unlock Mauritania. Behind it stand a ton of things, which are extremely valuable, like the Slayer Tower and Slayer Master, best prayer method I think outside of the wilderness for mid-levels, the barrows. I cannot wait for Ahrim's and Karel's. Temple trekking, the Salve Amulet, anyway, countless gear and unlocks. This quest. I got the proper items wrong, 2 times. Well, they were not very proper. Anyway, had to run back, and then a gust turned one of the food item. I think it was the kingworm from the Grand Tree, rotten, because it is classified as such, but happy to have done it. Later, I had enough skills and gear to do the Fremennik trials. Thankfully, there is this part where you need to craft the lyre, and I checked and found out that you can get it as a drop from this NPC at 1 in 17. It takes you roughly as long as crafting it yourself, unless you are unlucky, and to craft it you need over 40 crafting I think. So it was the ideal option for me. Had to hop each time, and was lucky, did not take me long. That is it, the journey ends here. Just kidding, on the 4th phase when you die, it's a safe death against him. But only on the 4th, not the 1st, 2nd or 3rd phases. Those are dangerous and you will lose your hardcore status, should you die to them. You can defeat him on the 4th phase, but if you want to make life slightly harder, just bring at least 7 recoil rings, and some sharks, or at least swordfish. And the trials are done. I can wear the Fremennik helms now. I do not know if I should buy the Berserker one, or wait for the Netisnot helm, which is free when completing the quest. While searching guides for the Mauritania quests, so I can knock as many as I can out, I encountered this crashed star. Never done them before. I know they were added recently, so I checked it out, and I just had enough to mine it. If only I had a better pickaxe. I could just have AFK'd it. But with the steel pickaxe it was just too slow for me, so I left. The weirdest thing happened. I was getting 48 agility when this drunken dwarf event spawned. I did not even notice about this anyway. As I was doing the Varrock rooftop and jumping on this obstacle, the dwarf moved exactly as I was jumping onto this table. Not sure if it's intended or normal, or just because I was in midair or jumped on that one tile for not even a second. Still good to see stuff like this, or maybe it's a glitch. Then I went and finished 48 agility in Carnifis. Gathered enough marks to buy 2 items of Graceful, which I really need, especially right now because of lack of staminas. That is one complaint about Ironman. Anyway, I checked out my bank and was super low on cash and emerald rings. And so I went to the only place I can get both, the HCIM chest. With these chests, the best method that I just read is to use the Rogue Thieving set. With all 5 pieces worn, you get 100% double loot. That means 2 keys every time, and that is double DGP per hour. I had no clue this set worked here, so it's another goal that I have to set my eyes on. I can finally use Rune Pickaxe, and can buy it. Slightly more expensive than I thought, but I do not really care. Younger me would have been over the moon, like I won the lottery. So thankful I can prayer flick these dragons. Without prayer each kill would take an eternity, and can level up combat. Still I need to upgrade for attack bonus and accuracy. Sometimes I cannot hit if my life depended on it. Good thing I can fast track blue dragons by just slaying the younger ones. And that is exactly what I did. Ice giants, if only I can tag one of them. These ice warriors, Jesus, they are so annoying. What I do is prayer flick them and stand near a giant when I'm about to finish them. More combat XP I guess. Good thing sometimes they drop Loruns and seeds, if only they weren't so pesky. Now I wanted to access the fairy rings so I can set up a new teleportation network, so I went for it. And this quest, or not quest, Zanaris in general, has some Easter eggs, some of you are familiar with. You see these 3 fairies, 2 henchmen and the Godfather. They are based off the Mafia, but the biggest thing is their examine, where one says, "How am I funny, like a clown?" and the other, as far as I can remember, "I always wanted to be a gangster." These 2 references are from the Mafia movie Goodfellas. My personal favorite of the 2 is the Joe Pesci Easter egg as Tommy DeVito.
I mean, let me understand this, because maybe it's me, I'm a little up maybe, but I'm funny how? I mean, funny like I'm a clown, I amuse you? I make you laugh? I'm here to amuse you? What do you mean funny? Funny how?
It's a classic. My first decent Slayer task. Trolls. They are super fast. Sure, I have to player flick a majority of the time, but the amount of Slayer XP and the loot is tremendous. They drop alkabills, seeds and herbs. They are like Slayer XP bags and low in defense. All I have to worry is to not get close to the stone throwers. I don't know, these guys are ugly as sin and can trick or treat over the damn telephone. To access the fairy rings you do not need to complete part 2, but only start it and do the first steps. This also gave me access to the Enchanted Valley where I can farm the rune axe. They drop the axe in 1 in 32. So I camped here with melee by flicking. And I was unlucky here. Went 3 times over the drop chance. Yet they drop a ton of nature runes. And I made a mistake killing them with melee because you only get 1 XP regardless of the hit. Unlike magic. With magic you always get 23 experience per cast, even if you splash using mind spells. So I got my magic gear and then first kill back. You guessed it, Rune X. Unbelievable. But finally got it and a good amount of natures too. Cannot really complain. Here I decided to get the helm of Knittisnot, because I got tired of wearing the same helmet, so I camped here. Getting wood cutting from 40 to 56 all in one go, which is quite fast with the Rune Axe, unlike before, and got a good number of bird nests along the way, which will be needed when I level farming to 70. Then I went and leveled crafting, and to my surprise I found a fast method, a very fast method, which everyone uses, where you can buy soda ash and buckets of sand from the charter traders. All I needed was less than 100 of each, so it was easy. On the Isle of Knittisnot, ready to complete this. I'm a bit nervous, to be honest, because I heard of Hardcore Ironman getting compoed out when repairing bridges, especially because there's this animation, where once a troll starts to attack you and you are not praying, all the hits stack, and once the animation is done, you have a good chance of dying. Still, onward is the only way, so... This is it, I'm inside. Thankfully, a great effect that the Yak armor gives is the damage reduction to range damage from these trolls. They can only hit you mostly 2s or 3s I think, but with melee they hit full damage. I had to kill 5 I think to start the boss fight. The best way is to pray melee and tank all range damage, but only and only if you are using Yak armor and the shield. Without them, pray against ranged. He's not as powerful as I thought if you pray magic and wear Yak armor. As you can see, he's using ranged, which is negated by the damage reduction, so this renders him almost powerless, but only with the Yak armor. If you pray melee, he has a knockback attack, similar to that in Troll Stronghold, which hits very high and frequently. The Yak armor I think could be useful during Desert Treasure when fighting ice trolls. Anyway, he's dead and lost his head, and the Fremenic Isles is done. thankfully. Got almost a best in slot. It is a big upgrade for me, and starting to look halfway decent with the helm. It even gives trip prayer also without cost. Anyway, that is it for this video, and I cannot wait to enter the corrupted Gauntlet. As a reminder, I always upload a new episode every Saturday night, so stay tuned. Like, comment, share and subscribe. Happy escaping, peace!